I hate to be the one to say or pat my own self on the back when I say that I knew that this was going to happen, but I have to say, I knew that this was going to happen. So I was actually just tagged in this article where the White House is pushing to rethink cannabis use in sports. And basically, it's because of off the heels of what happened with Sha'Carri Richardson. I told people, I said, but the people are going to push back against this, and then what they're going to do is they're going to try to find a way to get marijuana use off of the anti-doping uh, layout, or however you call it, when it comes to the Olympics or a lot of stuff that involves sports. But how ironic that they're doing this now with a black person when marijuana use is universal. And the person who sent it to me, shout out to I Am Legend on Twitter, and they said symbolism. I saw this coming. They're going to use this. They're going to use the whole thing that's going on with Sha'Carri Richardson to springboard something else. And I'm going to be honest. If Sha'Carri Richardson wasn't who she was, and she wasn't or didn't have a chance at winning, or they didn't get the hype around her, they would have not really blown this up that way. That's why they didn't blow up the whole thing with Shelby Houlihan. Not only because, she's a white woman, but because nobody was really checking for her. Even though her situation is much worse because she got a much stiffer punishment because she got tested positive for steroids. But because Sha'Carri Richardson stood a chance of winning against some of the other competitors, now they're going to make a big deal about it in trying to get this thing out of the way. And see, the thing is, America doesn't like to lose. And if they knew they had a chance of winning, they would try to pull some strings, but even it's out of their hands. But now, I said before that if they couldn't pull it off this time, they're going to try to pull it off. So in 4 years, when 2024 rolls around and the Olympics is in Paris, they're going to try to go for it then. And not only with the Olympics, but with any sport. Because it says U.S. reported to seek talks on easing cannabis restriction in sports. It didn't say what sport, but it said in sports in general. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article and see what else we can find out. The White House will seek a meeting with the World Anti-Doping Body about easing restriction on athletes' cannabis use, a media report said on Friday after a positive test for American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson made her ineligible for the Olympic team. The 21-year-old, who was seen as the top contender for the 100 meters gold at the Tokyo Summer Games in June, received a 1-month ban. The Financial Times said the White House is seeking the meeting with the World Anti-Doping Agency through the U.S. Office of National Drug Control Policy, which has a seat on the body's foundation. The White House did not respond to a request for comment on the report. WADA said it has not received a request for a meeting. WADA has overseen the banned substance list since 2004. Prior to that, it was the responsibility of the International Olympic Committee. The board is next scheduled to meet on November 25th, but the ONDCP told the Financial Times that if possible, the U.S. will secure an earlier discussion of cannabis policy within WADA. The office said it intended to ask WADA, because I'm going to just say WADA instead of saying the whole thing out, about policies restricting cannabis use, including the time frame for testing and the basis for the consideration of cannabis as a performance-enhancing drug. WADA did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The request comes a week after it was revealed Richardson had tested positive for marijuana at the U.S. Olympic trials in Oregon. The substance is legal for recreational use in the state, though it remains prohibited in some elite sports throughout the rules set by WADA. Richardson, a former favorite for a gold medal in the women's 100-meter dash, was subsequently suspended from the competition for 1 month, meaning she will have to miss the Tokyo Olympics, where she was expected to be a breakout star. Her suspension prompted a backlash from politicians and the American public over what some see as a policy inconsistent with modern U.S. law. 19 states had fully legalized recreational marijuana use as of last month, according to the Marijuana Policy Project. The rules are the rules, said U.S. President Joe Biden last week when asked about Richardson's suspension. Whether that should remain that way is a different issue. A petition by MoveOn.org asking that Richardson be reinstated to the U.S. Olympic team has garnered more than 560,000 signatures as of Friday. Two members of the U.S. House of Representatives, Jamie Raskin and Ocasio Horseface, as Professor Blacksheep calls her, recently asked U.S. and global anti-doping officials to rescind Richardson's suspension. In a letter last week, they argued that prohibition of marijuana while your organizations allow recreational use of alcohol and other drugs reflects anti-drug laws and policies that have historically targeted Black and brown communities. In a letter responding to them on Friday, officials from the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency wrote that the agency agrees that Ms. Richardson's exclusion from the Tokyo Olympic Games is a heartbreaking situation and that the World Anti-Doping Agency rules concerning marijuana use must change. The U.S. is the largest single contributor to WADA's annual budget and is expected to provide more than $2.9 million in 2021, according to the agency's website. The agency reviews its list of banned and restricted substances and methods annually, seeking input from all stakeholders in a review process beginning this month, which is expected to conclude in the autumn. Richardson has said she accepts her suspension. I know what I did. I know what I'm supposed to do and am allowed not to do. And I still made that decision, he told the Today Show last week. I'm not making an excuse. I'm not looking for empathy in my case. See, like I said, here's the thing. A lot of people who are saying rules are rules right now, or at least the higher ups are the ones that actually matter who are saying that. I told you they want to eat their words. Because see, like I said in the beginning of this video, America wants to win. And they know when it comes to something like this, she's their only shot. They know that if she's not competing in this, America's not going to take home the gold in this event. That's really all it boils down to. Like I said, if they knew that she was not a top contender, they would not care about it. That's why I said when it came to Shelby Houlihan, they didn't really talk about her much, even though what she did or what she tested positive for was way worse than what she did. After all, she got a suspension not only from this games, but from the next one as well. And at this point, that's going to run. She might as well retire after that because she's like 28 now. So I don't know. But like I said, it's a lot of controversy around this situation. And that's another thing. They don't want this to become too controversial. And like I said, I think that the Olympics might be scared that their ratings might be low for that event because a lot of people were going to watch to see her run. But that remains to be seen. As a matter of fact, when they do that 100-meter race at the end of the month, I'm going to probably go on Nielsen's ratings or somewhere along those lines or wherever I can find out, or maybe someone can send it to me. What was the ratings for that race, for that particular event? Because if those ratings were low, then I guess I can pat myself back on the back again and say I called that as well. But as far as this right here, yeah, I think it's something bigger at play that's going on. I'm not exactly sure what direction they are headed with this. But yeah, something just doesn't seem right. But the thing of the matter is, I will say this whole thing kicked off a huge dialogue, a huge conversation, left, right, down the middle, wherever you want to say or however you want to put it. You have some people that's, mad at her for what she did. You have some people that, are disappointed in what she did. Some people still support her. Some people are on the fence. They don't know how to feel. So it definitely kicked off a lot of conversation. But like I said, when the race actually happens at the end of the month, this is going to come up again. And, we're going to see what happens. But I definitely want to see what the ratings are going to be looking like for her particular event that she was supposed to be in. And then on top of that, now she's not able to run in the relay, which is after her suspension was up. So now that's even more controversy right there. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, like how all of this stuff just really went down the way that it did. But like I said, it definitely opened up dialogue. It definitely kicked off a major conversation. And, when it comes to marijuana use and everything like that, the fact that she was even able to still run like that while high, allegedly, that says a lot. Because we all know that weed and marijuana is not a enhancement by any measure at all. But we'll see what happens.